Welcome back, everyone. You would be shocked by today's tale if you thought you had seen everything there is to know about the drama actor community. For the first time ever, Lee Min-ho breaks down in tears and shares something that no one anticipated. He acknowledges that the only person who has ever genuinely moved him is Song Hye Kyo. What had happened to them? Why now? Would fans be getting a second chance at the romance they've been waiting years for? If you want to discover the truth behind his emotional confession, watch all the way through. Remember to like, subscribe, and activate the notification bell so that you never miss any updates like this one. Lee Min-ho didn't cry over Song Hye Kyo at a movie shoot, a major awards show, or a meticulously organized promotional tour. Unexpectedly, Lee Min-ho shared his innermost thoughts with the world on a late-night talk show. The room fell hushed as he spoke, and his eyes, which are usually full of elegance and composure, glistened with pure vulnerability. Silently, he said, "I've never met anyone who made me feel seen like she did." There was no need to identify her. Song Hye Kyo was on everyone's mind. The king of K-dramas, Lee Min-ho, who appeared to be impenetrable, was degrading in front of the cameras. Furthermore, it had nothing to do with disputes or issues in one's line of work. It was because of a woman who had changed his soul irrevocably. For years, there had been rumors about their relationship. Despite the fact that they had never worked together on a film, industry whispers indicated late-night conversations, mutual affection, and a camaraderie that was deeper than either had publicly recognized. He had never checked anything till today. As he admitted, his voice caught. "She wasn't just someone I knew. She was calm. She was in her house." That single sentence sent fans into a frenzy. Social media platforms ignited when old videos of the two attending the same event surfaced again. Images of their brief encounters, which were always friendly and courteous, were re-examined from a new angle. Was there always more? According to a person close to the actor, Lee Min-ho has been hoarding a letter written to Song Hye Kyo for years. Until recently, the message had never been mailed and had never been discussed. A portion of the letter, read aloud during the interview, talked about a nameless love and moments that passed through their fingers like sand. It said, "You saw me. Not the mask, not the fame, just me. Besides, I didn't know how to take that kind of love. I never forgot, even though I chose to ignore it." His sobs were shared by the entire nation. This scene was not lifted from a script for a drama. It was real. Once praising him for his confidence, smile, and tidy look, admirers now did. So for something even more admirable, his courage in revealing a wounded heart. But the globe was rattled by more than just the revelation. The issue was the timing. Song Hye Kyo posted an enigmatic picture of a lone candle glowing in the dark on Instagram a few days before to the interview airing, captioning it, "Some lights never go out." Fans spotted the connection instantly. Had she been referring to him? Had she too held on to this invisible thread of emotion for so long? In their silence, there was a past that spoke louder than words. A past that needed no explanation, even if neither had ever admitted to having a love affair. Those who knew them well spoke of a bond unlike any other. According to a mutual friend, despite the fact that they never had a formal relationship, they had a deep bond based on the way they spoke and looked at one another. They had a mutual understanding that no one else possessed. Song Hye Kyo and Lee Min-ho's lives were marked by widespread fame, a sizable fan base, and ongoing media attention. Perhaps that was what initially set them apart. Being in love with someone like them is rarely simple. It includes cameras, headlines, and relentless criticism. Sometimes it requires you to leave the person who makes you feel at home, and it demands sacrifice and concealment. The gravity of the confession was increased by Lee Min-ho's obvious pain. This was hardly a nostalgic situation. He had been carrying that secret, agonizing loss for years. He spoke not as a celebrity but as a man who realized too late that he had let the right person go. He murmured, "There were so many times I could have expressed my feelings to her." But I remained silent. I thought I had time. It was clear that he wasn't crying because he missed her when the camera panned to his trembling hands. He cried because he had missed his chance. The internet was ablaze with reactions. Fans from all across the world contributed supporting notes. Some even wrote open letters pleading with Song Hye Kyo to contact them. In the hopes that this narrative would not be over, others began trending with the hashtag #YeStillTime. Although Song Hye Kyo has not commented since the interview, rumors indicate that she was more moved and impacted than words can express. It's unknown if she will respond in public or behind closed doors. Nonetheless, the importance of Lee Min-ho's comments cannot be denied. In a profession that depends so much on dishonesty, he chose to be honest. In a culture where showing vulnerability is seen as weakness, he showed strength. And in a culture that often hides behind formality, he delivered one of the most genuine performances we've seen in a long time. Will they find their way back to each other? No one knows. If love has taught us anything, it's that sometimes the quietest stories are the loudest, and sometimes the most profound revelations come when we least expect them. It all began when a single tear unexpectedly and subtly crept down the face of the man we thought was unbreakable. On a quiet nighttime discussion program, Lee Min-ho, the stern, handsome face of Korean drama royalty, sat with trembling hands across from the host. He has been the focus of countless questions about his life, career, and work throughout the years. But this time, when the host asked about love, regret, and the one who ran away, something in the room changed. Lee Min-ho didn't smile. He didn't avoid the question. "There is one woman I never forgot, and no one has ever come close to what she made me feel," he whispered. Everyone in the crowd was silent. Then he said the name that everyone had been wondering about for a long time, but had never bothered to check: Song Hye Kyo. No one saw this coming. The public had long speculated about the two and their subtle, possibly invisible link. Even though they had never appeared together in a major series, their paths had met in a dozen subtle ways, such as fashion events, charity galas, and exclusive business meetings, where their eyes always found each other. The story seems to have been true all along, albeit hidden under a facade of fear and celebrity. Fans used to make jokes about their unresolved drama chemistry. He continued in a broken voice, "She saw me. Even I didn't understand the part of me that she saw." Fans around were shaken by his comments. For someone who was known for his charm, composure, and immaculate look, this unadulterated honesty was shocking. Lee Min-ho had never publicly admitted to being in a committed relationship since splitting from Suzy. He was finally voicing his opinions now. And it wasn't publicity. It was heartbreak. In the days that followed, an old handwritten letter surfaced online. Insiders say it was real, written years ago and kept in a drawer, even though he hadn't revealed it. The letter was simple but unsettling. It stated, "I didn't know how to handle what I felt for you. Before you came into my life like a soft wind, I was a hurricane. I pushed you away because I didn't want to be too obvious. But ever then, I've been thinking about you all the time." The letter had no signature, just an initial. Social media became popular. Fans reposted the quote thousands of times. Fan art began to emerge that showed the two stars side by side, separated by time and stillness. With Song Hye Kyo's grin and Lee's eyes, some even imagined wedding photos, red carpet appearances, and children. But the comment, "He didn't lose her to another man," from a fan in Seoul might have been the most popular post. He lost her because of his own silence. To exacerbate the situation, Song Hye Kyo posted a mysterious image to her personal Instagram a few days before Lee Min-ho's confession was made public. An old photo of a handwritten poem about love and timing. "Always" was the caption's sole word. Suddenly, fans began connecting with each other. Had she also been holding on to him? Was it her intention to suggest that she, too, never truly moved on? According to a friend who wished to remain anonymous, the actress secretly watched the interview and broke down in tears. The companion claims that she was overwhelmed. She didn't anticipate him saying it, and now she's at a loss for what to do. According to reports, Song Hye Kyo stated in a private chat, "He's the only man I couldn't read, and maybe the only one I truly wanted to.